You guys, I have been perfectly aware, of course, that there are people in this world who do not like animals. It's one thing to know that, to feel that, to sense that, to hear about it, but it's another completely different thing to actually witness it with your own peepers, with your own two eyes, how someone hates animals. I want to describe two instances. One instance was I was visiting someone's house and there was another guest I had never met before, I didn't know about. So, hey, how are you? I'm so and so, introduction. This home we were guests at has dogs. More than one, more than two, more than three, more than four. I think they had a total of 6 dogs at the time. Some were small, there was one massive one, and the other ones had like that Pomeranian size body to them going on, just so you get an idea of what kind of dogs we're talking about. And if you guys see me, I wish I could catch myself interacting with dogs. Maybe I need to like set up a camera, but I just feel like it wouldn't be as genuine if I'm aware. But I wish I could record me and how I react to dogs. My immediate instinct is to go over there and greet them and speak to them in a really high pitch and be like, hey, how you doing? Things like that. And I'll start petting them and I'll see their tails wagging and their eyes are like really wide and they're like and all that. I love that mess. I'm not a big fan of their drooling, but it is what it is. Dogs are so full of life, so ecstatic to see you. But there are some people who simply do not like that. And when it comes to this one person I'm thinking about, I don't know if she had a trauma as a child or maybe prior to our encounter to where that's where her fear of dogs came from, but this lady could not handle them at all. Well, recently I also got to meet what I would consider the most extreme example live in the flesh right there with me of someone who detests animals. And I just think it was the most bizarre but sad but also kind of frustrating thing I ever witnessed. And I'm a believer that the way that you treat animals, the way that you manifest around the animals is kind of a reflection of who you might be as a person. And the reason I say might is because I understand that we all have our weaknesses, our fears and stuff like that, but you're telling me there's not a single animal out there that you can be okay with? I'm not okay with snakes. I'm not okay with spiders. I'm not okay with roaches. I'm not okay with rats, for instance. But I feel, a broader tolerance for animals that I could be okay with. I'm okay with cats, obviously. I'm okay with dogs. I'm okay with zoo animals behind a fence, of course. If we were out there in their territory, I would probably shit myself. Anything that's harmless, anything that's not savage or threatening in any way, I just cannot imagine despising it. But this person recently, she was expressing herself with a lot of hate because this person did have a traumatic experience. She witnessed her sister being attacked by a dog. And I mean, I get it. In an ideal world, everybody would be a responsible pet owner and not let your dogs unattended or without a leash or pretty much able to charge at someone. I understand. But even when I, as a kid, had traumatic incidents with pets or other people's pets, that never changed me to be an extremist when it comes to my dislike for animals. I have been bitten by dogs. I have been tackled by dogs, name it. And here I am. I still love them. I forgave them. Whatever it was just a dog being a dog. Sometimes dog will do dog things. And I'm just grateful that as a kid, I was able to process that in a healthy enough way to where I didn't create this phobia toward animals. But this person I'm thinking of, she was disgusted that the rest of us were talking about our pets. Like, we have cats, we have dogs. She was like, you all like to have animals that stink and they shed all that fur and that gets in your clothes and your bedding and your couches and everything. Show me babies. Show me human babies. Why is it that all of a sudden people show more photos of animals more than people? I feel like people are more excited about their animals more than actual people. I like people. I prefer people. But most people prefer animals. What is going on? And I said, well, I'm one of those people who I'm okay with a very handful, select, few, minute number of people, but animals, they're pretty much welcome in my world. I don't have issues with animals. Animals aren't out here trying to get me, trying to mess with me. If you leave animals alone, they leave you alone. Unless they're like those at the summit, apex, and they think about wrecking your shit. They see you as food, like bears. Like, that's fine. When was the last time you saw a bear in person? Like, within the past week, in a suburb, in a city, which is like where I and pretty much everyone I know is at. Nobody has told me bear stories in recent times. The only time they have those stories is when they used to live out there in the country. But for the rest of us, like average people, we don't have those fears because we know that those fears are irrational. For you to be upset and annoyed that we have other creatures we like to coexist with, I think that is bizarre. And I think it's really sad that you haven't taken the opportunity to establish a good bond with an animal. I'm grateful for Dusty because I see that he works. I'll see dead animals, like dead insects, and I am happy he does that because it keeps me from having to spray harmful chemicals. You know, the things that people invented, that pesticide, insecticide, herbicides, I'm scared of that. That is the product of a person. No animal has ever messed with me in that manner. No animal out there has contaminated my air, unless it's some kind of farm with a ton of cows producing methane that they cannot help. It's just the way their digestion digests. You know what I mean? I really, 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 really cannot imagine a life in which I despise animals. Like me having a genuine disgust, disdain toward animals. I can't. Even those that have claimed people's lives, like I have heard of stories of gators taking an old lady who was walking her dog and pretty much pulling her toward the water and eating her up. I mean, it was a hungry, giant-ass prehistoric lizard doing hungry, giant-ass prehistoric lizard things. It saw an opportunity, it saw a potential prey, and it took it. I could be the next victim of an animal attack. I hope not, but it could happen. I would be like, damn, devastated that an animal made me its prey. But like I have said before, people love to think that we're just superior, that we're better, that we're special. No, we are animals in this environment. And the only thing we have done for ourselves is make us a little comfortable to where we build shit that scares animals enough to leave us alone. But if we were out there in their element on a one-on-one, we're gonna lose. The average person is going to lose. Animals are much smarter than us at actual raw survival. I'm not going to be mad at them. If anything, I'm going to observe them to learn their patterns, to increase the odds of me making it out there. To me, someone who hates other people's animals and just animals in general, it kind of messes with my perception of you just a little bit. It's not like I cannot get along with this person because this person hates animals, right? But I can say that if you have zero tolerance for other creatures whom we share this earth with, I may be inclined to perceive you as someone a little selfish and with a superiority complex, and I don't like that. Well, there you guys have it. That's it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you happen to be an animal hater who somehow stumbled upon this topic, please share with me your thoughts. What is it like to think as someone who hates animals, perceiving the world, existing in this world that's animal ridden? What is it like for you to process living? You hate birds, you hate furry creatures, you hate everything. And I think one of the things that guarantees for me I will never hate animals is I understand their role in ecosystems. I am grateful that they do the things they do, because if you leave it up to humans, we ain't taking care of shit. We have a parasitic relationship with everything in nature, everything in the environment. If humans were taken out of the equation, the nature out there would reorganize itself and thrive in different ways, undisturbed. With the people, they're just condemned to experiencing bad things, experiencing displacement, ecological destruction, food insecurities, those types of things. So you guys tell me. You tell me.